Hi, everyone. Good morning or good afternoon, depending on where you are. My name is Vanessa Garaiburu Caruso. I'm a staff scientist here at PNNL, mostly working on river corridor biogeochemistry with a high emphasis on organic matter, high resolution mass spec data. And so within the MONet group, I'm part of the ecosystem engagement team, and I've been kind of in charge of rolling out these working groups. So today's meeting is so we could share with you what we have been thinking about these MONet working groups and our plan, but most importantly, so we can hear from you if you have any feedback about how these are going to be managed and what kind of content, or if you just have any feedback in general of things that you would like to see that we didn't include in this meeting. So we really want this to be good for the community and we want to hear everything that you have to say. So first, I want to just have a quick review of things. I think most of you already are familiar with the quarter soil function call. Perhaps most of you have already submitted to this call. If you are interested in seeing the details from the new proposal, please take a look at this QR code and just see all the details there. But in brief, how this works is that we open a proposal call, you submit a short proposal describing what kind of research you want to do, and then we approve that proposal. We send you a standardized kit with protocols and all of the different things that you need to collect the samples. You collect them, and then you send them to us here at PNNL. We then analyze these scores using different advanced methods, and we collect up to like 30 different data types. Right now, we're mostly focusing on things like the ultra high resolution mass spec via FTICR, the XCT, biogeochemistry data, and so we'll have also metagenomics. So all of that data we collect for you after you submit that proposal, and then we work with a team to make all of that data fair and available for the rest of the community. I wanted to also highlight that some of you might have also participated in the 1000 Soils pilot project that we had before MONet rollout. And so if you're wondering, oh, where can I access my data? All of that data is available in Zenodo. It's currently the version 5. And I believe we'll be posting a link in the chat directly for you so you can click on it and access it. Then for those of you who are in the first phase of MONet course that were already collected, that data, it's gonna be on Nexus. And then future data from MONet is gonna be available on the data portal that MONet is rolling out. I think if you attended our community science meeting, you heard some updates about it. So we're aiming to have that data portal live between April and June this year. So stay tuned. But for now, we have lots of data to play around with the Zenodo data. So you probably are familiar with all of these. And so within MONet, we kept wondering, how can we best support your research using MONet data? And so to answer this question, we started thinking, and we thought that one way to do this is launching what we're calling the MONet working groups. And the objectives behind these MONet working groups is to help you formulate your science questions, generate an action plan towards your goals, develop data analysis skills, and work on data publishing. Anyone can participate on these. We prefer people who are MONet participants. That way they already have MONet data. But if you are a person that perhaps has not collected a core, but it's really interested in working on all of the data that MONet will provide, then this is a group for you as well. You don't necessarily be collecting samples to be part of this group. So I'll share with you right now some thoughts that we have on how to structure these groups, and then we'll open it up to have more discussion. So right now, this is what we're thinking. So our first thing is that we're gonna focus on the key data types that MONet is offering. So right now, we're gonna focus on the first three, the FTICR, the XCT, and the biogeochemistry. And next year, we're gonna be rolling out also metagenomics as part of these working groups. The current structure that we're thinking is that it will be monthly 1 hour or 1 hour and a half meetings, depending on the groups. This will be online via Teams. That way, everyone across the US can join. And the agenda, sort of in these groups, is going to be flexible, but we're thinking in general it will contain a short lecture that describes some of the data types and I'll see your hand. I'll just go 1 second. I will describe a lecture with that describes the data types, and then we'll have some activities that encourage participants to use the data either for their research projects or just for general data analysis. And we're currently going to start with the FTICR in February, followed by XCT and biogeochemistry later. So I saw your hand. Do you want to go ahead? And then I'll go with the other bullets.
Thanks. It'll be real fast. Do you have a list, or will you be showing when you say you're going to be doing biogeochemistry measurements? Do you have a list of all those measurements somewhere?
I believe that data exists. That list exists. I currently don't have it on as part of this presentation, but Chin is the lead of that effort. So maybe Chin can share some bullets in the chat. That way, everyone can see it there.
Thank you.
Yeah, our communication team gonna share that. Yeah, we have a list of those analyses, including in biogeochemistry.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, thank you. I just don't have it in this presentation. Okay, yeah, so current structure, online, 1 hour or 1 hour and a half. We're thinking that we really want to enhance participation in these groups. So at first we're starting to keep it small. We can have several small groups within like one data type, but each group we're thinking having something between 4 to 6 participants. Each of these groups is going to work closely with EMSL experts on these data types, so they can work on their MONet data and advance their science in a very targeted way. And so in addition to that, we're going to offer regular communication with EMSL staff via Slack. And we're also, in addition to the monthly meetings, we're going to have designated office hours across each of the data types so people can interact with EMSL experts in a dedicated time and work through kinks or bugs in their code or just brainstorm ideas. So this is what we're thinking right now. And this is the time where we want to hear from you. So if you can take your phone out and scan this QR code or go to this website, menti.com, and then enter this code. I have some questions that are interactive where we can hear a little bit more from you. I'm gonna move the Menti screen here. I'll still have the instructions. But yeah, basically, if you can do this, and when you are in, if you can give me thumbs up, that way I know. Right now we have 9 people and 33 participants, so I'll give a second so more people can join. In the meantime, if you have questions or comments, please feel free to use the chat. I cannot see it right now, but I know that we have other people in the line that are monitoring the chat and can reply to questions live. I'll give it a few more minutes. We have 20 people and 33 participants. Well, 34 participants. So I'll give it a little more. Okay, well, it seems like the number of people in the Menti is stabilizing. You can join, if you're still working through it, I'm gonna advance through the questions and you can join whenever. You might miss the question or two, but there's always the chat, and at the end we'll have time to converse more, but there we go. Let's start with the first question. We wanna hear from you if you think MONet working groups should alternate each data type monthly, meaning we start with FTICR on February and then on March we do XCT, or perhaps finish a data module before starting a new one. And then a data module may constitute many sessions. Maybe we need 3 to 4 sessions for each data type. Do we want to finish all of those monthly sessions before starting a new data, or alternate each month? So I'll give a few minutes. I think either if you're doing it on your phone, you should be able to see each of these categories. Same if you are doing it on your computer. Okay, we have 23 people, and I think that's how many we had initially. So I think everyone has voted. Thank you so much for your feedback, and we'll move to the next question. So next question, I would like to learn more about. This is a ranking question. So you can have an answer for each of these categories, just rank them based on what are the things that you're most interested in on getting out of these groups. So you want to learn more about how the measurements are made, how the data analysis is done, perhaps just data applications, or in general, how to concisely do stats across all of your samples or all of the MONet samples. I'll give a couple of minutes. And I think, if you vote and then change your mind, there's always a way that you can change it. I think you just have to click back. I think it's really interesting, and I'm not surprised that the number one answer is data analysis. I wanted to now encourage some of you, if you wanted to put in the chat, kind of what are your favorite ways currently to do data analysis? Most of the people here in our team use either R or Python. So we want to kind of get a sense, is that your favorite too? Do you have another preference? Are you willing perhaps to try some of these? So this is just for those of you who are willing to share a little more about your thoughts on data analysis and how to get to those goals. So seems like 25 people voted, and we'll go to the next question. Perfect. So now the next series of questions are going to be specific for each data type. In the first section, we're going to talk specifically about the high resolution mass spec for organic matter analysis using FTICR data. So for this, would you like each session to review the same material, or would you like to learn incrementally in each session? And I just want to highlight that what is going to go in each of these sessions is going to be highly influenced by the votes that you had in this Menti. So our team is going to be taking all of your answers into consideration to make sure that we cover all of the things that you want out of these working groups. Perfect. I think just maybe 2 more people. 1 more. Well, I'll move to the next one. So next question. This is, you get 1 vote only. So just think about that one for a second. So for FTICR data, I prefer to start from the basics. So the basics might cover the whole spectrum of the sections that we discussed in the previous slides, like measurements and data analysis and stats. Like, start from the beginning. Do more advanced data analysis. This can be more just like data applications, perhaps. Only ask questions about my data. This can be, I'm only interested in the open office hours. In NA, in these cases, I really would not use the FTICR data, and I feel like I don't want to vote because I'm not planning to use that data. Okay, we see 21 people. I'll give one more second. Okay, perfect. This is really useful because when we work with you individually, we can split groups based on their interests. So we don't want to have people that only want to do advanced data analysis going from the basics, for example. So thank you for providing that feedback. And now we're switching to the next data type. This is XCT, and it's the same question. So do we want each session to review the same material or learn incrementally? So it seems like we have very similar feelings than we had from the FDICR data. So I'll move on to the next. So this one, similar structure, only one vote. Do you want to start from the basics, do advanced data analysis? This one has a different category, that is perform core scale modeling. If some of you attended the community science meeting, you saw that as part of our training sessions, we had a special section that was just dedicated to modeling with this data. So you know, this is also considered advanced data analysis, but it's kind of more targeted and it's going to help us find the staff for this group. And then only ask questions about my data would be the same as before, only interested in the office hours. So 23 and 24, I think we can move on. Next thing is biogeochemistry. So I cannot see the chat, but I'm hoping that by now you got a sense of what's included in this biogeochemistry package. And so same question, do you want to review the same material or learn incrementally for all of these different data types? And I think we have a lot of the same trends. So that's nice, thank you. And same question, you want to start from the basics, advanced data analysis, only ask question about my data, or I don't really plan to use these biogeochemistry data sets. Okay, 23. I think we can move forward. So this time I want to open it up. If anyone wants to unmute and add something, or if there's anything in the chat that is worth bringing up to the bigger group that I cannot see. So this is a moment where if you have anything else that we haven't covered within the slides or within the questions, we would like to hear it from you. There's also going to be another section after this slide that's going to allow you to ask questions anonymously. So if you don't want to unmute and discuss, you have that other opportunity in the next slide. But if you do, this is the time. Odeta, I don't know if also you want to add anything else for the group or share something from the chat.
Yeah, I want to thanks everybody for joining. Actually, this is great turnout. And I just wanted to mention that at the end of this meeting, we have some of our staff that is going to be part of those working groups. I would like to take like a few moments to for them to introduce themselves so that you will see the staff will be directly engaged in the in this data analysis. And then second thing I wanted to mention is Vanessa mentioned the inclusion of metagenomic data for the second year. We probably will do that in collaboration with JGI, since they are providing quite a bit the analysis for our metagenomes.
Okay, so do we want to have the staff introduce themselves now while this is going in the background, or would you like me to stop sharing for a minute and then go with that?
Yeah, I think the staff can unmute themselves and introduce really quick, and you can keep this in the background, Vanessa. And maybe you can say, you know, the FTICR folks can introduce themselves and then go forward.
Okay, so we'll start with FTICR folks. I cannot see all of the participant lists, so I cannot call on names, but you guys go ahead.
I can start. My name is Nicole DiDonato. Some of you may have known me from the breakout groups during the community meeting we had. So I'll be helping with the FTICRMS working groups.
Alan, I see.
Yeah.
Okay, I hear
Sorry.
you now.
Sorry, yeah, having a little bit of technical issues over here. Hi, I'm Alan Roebuck. I'm a postdoc here at the lab, and I do a lot of work with FTICRMS, some advanced statistical analyses and stuff. So yeah, looking forward to working with you all and helping you wherever I can.
Awesome. So next we have XCT folks.
Hello, I'm Tomas Varga. I, together with my colleague Anil, who is also here, we are running the CT scans and analysis on the cores. It's nice to see the names and faces behind those slow cores that we are running. And so happy to answer questions and help with the CT data and analysis. Thanks.
I am Maruti. I'm a staff scientist helping Tamas and Anil on the XCT data analysis. I'm a modeling person, so I come from the background, what they give on the XCT data, how we analyze that, and how we integrate that into upscale models such as pFlowTran, which is a DOE code to understand how the flow and transport happen through the soil. So I'm here to help you on that.
Is Anil here?
Hello everyone, my name is Arun Krishna. I'm a material scientist working in EMSL, working with Thomas Varga. I do tomography with Thomas and do the pore characteristics and pore network modeling analysis of the soil. And we are happy to help you at any time. Please reach out to us. Thank you.
Awesome. And so now the biogeochemistry folks.
Okay, I can start. My name is Chen Zhao. I'm a soil scientist here. I have background in soil biogeochemistry, so I'm happy to see some familiar faces from our community science meeting, but I'm happy to work with you on this biogeochemistry data. And in our team, we have Leighton and Kazat helping together with the biogeochemistry data. So I will pass that to Leighton.
Hi, I'm Leighton Washburn. I work primarily with the biogeochemistry data as a Tech 3 student here at PNNL. And I also work with the Thousand Soils pilot data set, doing data visualization.
Leighton, sorry to interrupt. Do you mind if you, type the link of the Shiny app in here so that folks can have the chance to just look at it again one more time?
Yeah, I'll get that posted in the chat.
Thank you.
Awesome. So this is just the next screen. It was more to open it up if anyone had more questions. This one is anonymous and we can vote on questions. I can give, oh, yeah, I see a hand. Melissa? Oh, wait, I cannot hear you. I think you're muted.
Yes, I'm muted. Sorry about that. Yeah, I have some questions with like kind of the topic. So my understanding is like we're going to kind of focus on one like max spec, and then once that's done, you move on to like the other one, or is it like there's like kind of all the topics kind of happening at the same time, kind of concurrently, and you can kind of go back and forth with what you want? Can you kind of clarify?
Yeah, and so this is like part of the questions that we had here. It seems that it was across the data types, everyone preferred to finish a module before starting another one. So if we think about the year and divide it per quarters, maybe we can think about 1/4 of the year is going to be focused on FTICR data. And it seems that people prefer to learn incrementally. So the FTICR team is gonna work on like a syllabus or a program of how to split those 4 sessions that they have in their quarter so participants can learn incrementally. after that quarter is done, we'll start with the XCT. And the XCT team is gonna do the same thing, going from the very basics, perhaps, of like how to take the measurements all the way to the modeling parts that would be in the advanced data analysis. And then once that quarter is done, we'll do the biogeochemistry, and they will work together in the same way, so the knowledge can be incremental. Does that answer the question?
Yeah, yeah, and I guess it kind of doesn't matter, like was the order picked on like one topic builds on the other, or you can just kind of pick and choose which one you want to participate in?
Yeah, so internally we pick the order of starting with FTICR, XCT, and biogeochemistry. It wasn't anything in particular that made us pick that. Just it kind of worked out that way. But then as a MONet participant, you can choose. If you're not interested in the FTICR data, for example, perhaps you don't engage with these working groups formally until I don't know, the second quarter of the year when we start the XCT. But we will open, as part of this meeting, I'll share another sheet, another form with you guys, so you can sign up to the groups that you want to participate in, and then we'll add you to our Slack channels. So say you only want to participate in the XCT, we'll add you to the Slack channel as soon as we have all of the information from the MONet participants that want to be in that group. And then you don't have to wait until the second quarter to ask a question or to engage with Tamas and Maruti and Anil. You could do it right away on chat. But if you want to do the actual lectures and sessions, it's going to have to be in the second quarter. And that was just decided here. This is why we wanted to ask you, because we wanted to feel out if people were like, oh, I don't want to wait until the second quarter and I just want to alternate. But it seems like across the board from all of these questions, no, well, it was the first one. I cannot easily go back to the first one. From this question, people will prefer to finish the module before starting the next one.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Yeah, that was really helpful. Thank you. And then just one really last quick question, then I'm done. Would you guys consider maybe taking a break like in the summer when people are really busy with field work, or are you still anticipating doing a module in the summer?
I think this is the perfect time to bring it up. If you want us to take a break and a lot of people agree, we'll work around your schedule, because we want this to be for you. We don't want it to be conflicting with other important activities.
Yeah, can I add a couple more things, Melissa, to your question? In addition to these working groups, we also going to have some office hours for if there are folks, for example, that are interested in one type of data is not being covered during that time. You can definitely, request that office hour through our Slack channel, and we can discuss, what question you have or etc. How do we selected this order? I think we primarily selected, we know that for the biogeochemistry data set, there is, this data set has been around for a very long time, and there is a lot of expertise, and we definitely can offer expertise on our side using these office hours. The FTICR MS data is relatively new. There is not a lot of expertise, in institutions. So we thought that this was a good data set for us to start, instructing people from MONet how they are analyzed, how they can be processed, etc. And I think the same logic was applied to the XCT. So I think that's why we decided to pull this order, but definitely any question you have about the data, which you saw probably an email that they're going to be starting releasing soon, please reach out through the Slack channel. Let us know what you need, and we'll make sure that you talk to the right people through office hours.
And Odetta, since I have you on the line, could you please answer this question?
So I will answer this by saying that the metagenome data is being processed through the JGI right now. And I don't know who asked this question, but I can come and respond to that with a timeline. When are we expecting the JGI to process the data. For now, I believe, and maybe Young Song that is connected here, maybe he knows a little bit more about this, but I believe that some of the annotations for Thousand Soils are ongoing, that those are done by us here, or at least we are having some workflow to process them. And so the short answer is that we don't have MetaG's data in the Thousand Soils or MONet yet. So that's why we're planning for the next year to include them.
But I want to follow up. We will have those data released publicly later. We are just in the process of analyze them and process the data. But I think the question is for this working groups, we won't have that for this year. Hopefully we will have that next year, but we will have the data released for sure.
Great. Are there any other questions or comments, either that you want to put in here or raise your hand or in the chat? Well, maybe while we give folks some time to think more about this, I want to give other folks also the chance to take a moment to sign up to a working group today. So you can use this on your phone by scanning this QR code. And then you can also do it in the link that is going to be pasted in the chat. And then after that, we'll be reaching out to you specifically with more details. And we'll include you in the appropriate Slack channels. If you are a professor and your students are not here and they might want to be part of this group, please share this form with them. I'm going to send out an email after this is done and I can have the recording finalized. And so I will send an email to everyone that was here plus people that were not able to attend. So you can have this link and I'll provide a deadline on when we're gonna start assigning Slack channels. And Samantha, I see your hand is up.
Hi. So I did say this in my brief comment on Menti, but I think it's really nice and interesting that you mentioned, Vanessa, in one of your earliest slides, that kind of some of the bulleted goals of the working groups would be to like talk about research and develop new questions or testable hypotheses with the MONet data. And I wasn't necessarily expecting that out of these working groups. I did think they would be more like training and data analysis or maybe statistics focused, but I really was very excited actually when I saw you propose that as a component, and the idea of like networking with other participants and comparing ideas we might have for research and helping each other refine questions, like even if we didn't necessarily write collaborative papers, but just talking through our interests and hypotheses. Because it's like, I don't know, just how often do you get to do that with new people? So that's a really cool idea. And I just wanted to echo again that I like that, and maybe just trying to carve space for those if it's in those monthly meetings, or maybe those are more about like hands-on coding, but there's like Slack channel, or I don't know how it happens, but I really appreciate that component of it that you're suggesting, and would be very excited if to have that opportunity.
Yeah, great. Thanks, Samantha. I just was going also to ask you to introduce yourself really quickly, because you are with Neon Network, and we are establishing these great partnerships. And some of the Thousand Soils data that we have are from Neon side. So do you mind just really quickly introduce yourself?
Sure. Yeah, I'm Samantha Weintraub-Leff. I'm the terrestrial biogeochemistry lead for a lot of our observational data products in Neon. So all the plant and soil biogeochemistry, chemistry, and stabilized isotope data that we take. I oversee the sampling and the data quality and all that. And MONet has sampled Neon sites at all of them at least once, and then some of them already twice. And then, as Odetta mentioned, we're kind of hoping to continue with Neon soil core sampling into the future. And so I'm very interested myself to learn more about how we can leverage these MONet data, and specifically like what other, the NEON sites even, but maybe other sites too, what are the other interesting data sets we might be collecting that would be very novel and give us new insights to pair with MONet data. So I'd be happy if anyone is specifically interested in like honing in on the NEON soils to help you understand what NEON can offer that you could potentially be pairing with MONet.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for that. And thank you for your comment. I think it's really nice to hear that, because especially for our team that is going to be leading these groups, it's really nice to hear this kind of feedback, as well as everything that you guys put in the Menti. I have the Menti on another screen and I don't see any more questions or comments. I hope you guys had a chance to do this form now. And like I said, I will sending you an email with this information, as well as the recorded presentation. But yeah, I just wanna say that if you have more questions or comments, we're here and we can hang out until the hour is done, just to be here for you. But otherwise, if you don't have any more comments or questions and you already fill out this form, then you're welcome to go. We want to make sure we respect your time. And I really want to say that I appreciate everyone for attending today. Your feedback was really useful. This is the first time that we're launching something like this. And we really want to hear from you. So I hope that this is an invitation for you to continue providing feedback beyond today. So as you start engaging with our working groups and you have more comments or questions, you can always tell them either to your working group leads or to Odetta and I. We're always here to hear from you. Like I said, we want this to be working the best we can for your needs. And so we are learning as we're going. So hearing from you is really important. Any other final words, Odetta, before people jump off?
No, I thank you very much again for everybody joining. Just echoing your thoughts in here, Vanessa. I was just going to make a very quick question. Actually, we have some participants to this kickoff meeting that joined late, and so I don't know if they can still submit the Menti questions that you proposed earlier on. And I think there is at least one person that requested that, or we can send this person directly the question.
Yeah, I think it cannot be on the same one. But what I can do is that I can download the responses that we have this far and then change the settings of the Menti such that you can do it independently and then attach it to the email. That way, also, if people that were not here want to do the Menti at home, they can do it on their own as well, and we'll consider the answers from both up to the deadline that I will be sending in that email.
Great, awesome. Thank you.
Okay, great. So I'll stay here a little more in case anyone wants to chat, but otherwise, you are free to go. Thank you.